Hey y'all, welcome into the Mid-Mo Music Show Season 2, Episode 5. I'm your host, Noah Klein. Today we've got a familiar face you might remember from Episode 1. Dennis Layne is here. I'm going to talk to him one-on-one. He's going to play some great songs. Dennis Layne.
Well, I'm a big whiskey train, 100 million pounds of booze and steel. Yes, I'm a big whiskey train, 100 million pounds of booze and steel. You know, I got no mind to worry, I got no idle time to kill. From Kentucky down to Mobile, turn around straight on back to Louisville. From Kentucky down to Mobile, turn around straight on back to Louisville. I'm hauling bourbon whiskey, I got a lot of thirsty mouths to fill. I got a cast iron heart, I've got big tubes of copper for my guts. Got a cast iron heart, I got big tubes of copper for my guts. Ain't nothing gonna hurt me, boys, an engine ain't designed to fall in love. I'm a big whiskey train, 100 million pounds of booze and steel. I'm a big whiskey train, 100 million pounds of booze and steel. You know, the only thing that bothers me is the two rails are too tight for my big wheel. You know, the only thing that bothers me is just those two rails are too tight for my big wheels. I'm a big whiskey train, I'm a big whiskey train, I'm a big, big, big whiskey train.
All right, today we've got Dennis Layne. Dennis, just to get started, how does it feel to be back playing music again?
Back playing music? Well, I really didn't quit, to tell you the truth. There were opportunities outside of Boone County, and me and some of my associates would play, I guess you'd almost call them outlaw gigs in the current climate. But yeah, I'm a lot happier that things are opening up. There's a lot more live music happening, and it's just wonderful.
Let's go back to the start of your career. You originally started because you found your grandfather's guitar, is that right?
That's what, I found a guitar, I think had been my grandfather's, and I started beating around on it a little bit, and it was an old guy that lived in our town who was a vaudeville banjo player when he was young. So my parents decided they would engage me with some lessons, to try to learn to play the thing right. So I would get like 30 minutes of guitar instruction, maybe an hour or two of anecdotes, for these lessons, and picked up a great deal about, he was big on about the business of being a musician and a craftsman and all that, but you also have to be an entertainer, and I think maybe that stuck.
And so how much of that stays with you every day when you're performing gigs, even like this one?
Well, I was thinking about that today, because, gosh, I've been doing this for 50 years, and I feel a little bit unprepared. But he would talk about that. He said, if you lose touch with your audience and you get so cocky that you just walk out there and you think you're the king of the world, you're probably losing touch with why you're doing the music in the first place. And that's from 50 years ago. And I probably carry that around, bring it up quite often.
And so, I know you were here earlier this season. The difference between playing with other guys and just playing by yourself, can you talk about that for a little bit?
Well, yeah, to being a side man, it's like somebody else is the quarterback or the chief executive or whatever you want to do it. And you try to come on there and fill in the holes. I've done this as a guitar player or a steel guitar player or a mandolin player, fill in the holes between the vocal, and being that I sing a little bit and write a little bit, maybe I have some feel for that of where to put notes in between, and try to to uplift the song a little bit to make the whole package better, rather than just playing a slew of notes. And then when you're playing as a soloist, even though you're playing maybe stuff that is technically simpler, it's harder because you're the quarterback. You're the main guy, and you have to if anybody's playing with you, they have to follow what you're doing. If you're playing as a soloist, you have to use your winning personality and your talent and whatever little gifts you might have to entertain the audience.
And so, just for you as a person, do you prefer one to the other?
Oh man, I like chocolate cake and I like shrimp. And I can't really say that. Some days it's easier just to be a side man and let somebody else have all the bigger headaches.
And just, I know you did a song swap not too long ago. You're going to do some more coming up. Can you describe that?
Yeah, we have been doing, trying to make it a monthly event at the Dive Bar where we have songwriters and we pair them up. So you'll have two songwriters and it's, two fools on two stools, we'd call it. And you'll alternate songs, one artist and then the other, and sometimes, one song will trigger another song, if they're prolific writers, and sometimes they play off each other real well, and we call it a song swap format, and it's a lot of fun. It's not as structured as the Nashville guitar sessions or guitar pull sessions where they're really trying to sell merchandise, but it's a good thing. It gets a good audience response to see a couple of artists, maybe, like I'll play a song for Michael, and he's never heard that song before. Then Michael will play one for me, and it'll make me laugh. And in fact, that's what we're hoping is going to happen next Thursday night when we have one of these song swap events.
And in your music, just sitting in the crowd and we were just listening to you play, you could feel the energy coming from you. What are you trying to get to the audience when you're singing any song?
I don't know. I like the notion of songs that tell a story rather than just a zippy chorus, shake it, baby, shake it, baby, shake it, baby. And it's a personal taste. I mean, all music sounds good. I always heard that, whenever you're feeling great, whatever comes up next on the jukebox is just fine. But when you're sad, you need a specific song to kind of uplift you and realize that there's 10 million other guys that felt the same way. And that's the kind of songs that I've always gravitated to, the Hank Williams and the Chris Christopherson and the, people write about the human condition.
And how do you write about that? How do you get vulnerable enough to where you can write about your own human condition?
Well, first you got to go out and do it. 17-year-old kid in the basement can't write much of a love song. Can't write much of a heartbreak song. Can't write about losing his parents or his children. So I think you, just like Mark Twain talked about, or John Steinbeck talked about in writing novels, you go out and live a while, and then it becomes real easy to tell a story. So that's where I kind of try to come from. They returned my letter this morning. It was stamped address C unknown. It looks like no one could find you on East Allen Street in Tombstone. Well, I drove you to Joplin to catch the bus. Down Route 66 you were gone. You said you'd rush home when the funeral was over, but it's 17 weeks you've been gone. And up here in Hickory County, where the trees grow so thick and so tall, when the sun goes down in the afternoon, then I've got no light at all, just a bachelor mockingbird's call. All night he'll sing out his memories, till sun up I'll do the same. Stolen songs of the whippoorwill, bluebird and dove, while I sob and mumble your name. Up here in Hickory County, where the trees grow so thick and so tall, when the sun goes down in the afternoon, then I've got no light at all, just a bachelor mockingbird's call. Without you there's no light at all, without you there's no light at all. I saw a man with no dog, all alone, sitting on a log, thumbing through the pages of a worn-out catalog. I saw a man with no dog, I saw a man with no guitar, no way to pick and sing and fill his jar, no silver strings that jangled, no body he could own. I saw a man with no guitar, I saw this man with no heart. Love and luck had tore it all apart, like leaves scattered on the ground with no good place to start. I saw a man with no heart. Well, I caught a reflection in the lake. It was me on that log, make no mistake. No heart, no dog, no guitar with silver strings that break. I caught a reflection in the lake. But I'm thankful it was only me. No one else should ever feel this misery. All the things I didn't do and the man I could not be, I'm thankful it was only me. I saw a man with no dog, all alone sitting on a log, thumbing through the pages of a worn-out catalog. I saw a man with no dog.
And when you're getting those emotions, when you're playing those stories out, does it help you or does it help the audience more, do you think?
Yes. Just yes. It's, you know, it's this human connection. You know, there are writers that are very talented, performers that are very talented, and you go, you know, you admire them up here, and there are artists, you know, you admire right here. And they're both good, but, you know, I like this kind.
And when you're playing and you see in the crowd that people are feeling it here, What does that feel like for you?
Same. Just the same.
When you're out there and you're writing your songs and you're seeing them then come to life on the stage, is it a full process? Is it nice to see that come fully out?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's very gratifying to to see somebody out there and and it's like they wink and you wink and say, yeah, I know, and you know what we're talking about. And of course, I've seen other performers do that, where I'm watching, and it's like, yeah, well, I get it, and it's a very it's a special connection.
Looking locally at the Mid-Missouri community and the Mid-Missouri music thing that we have going here, is there something you see going on in the future with younger singers and people coming up that particularly strikes you?
I'm glad that they're coming up, and glad that people are continuing to want to do this kind of thing. It's you don't do it for all the money and fame and all that. You do it because my son went took a major in music in college. And something they pointed out to him was like an orientation class. They said, most of you are here because music picked you and you're just obsessed with it. And if you're not, you probably won't make it through the program. And that's a real thing, that music chooses you.
Even without a music program, do you feel music chose you?
Yeah. I mean, it chose a lot of people who never had a formal education in music, but they had it and they had to come out. It's been a long time thing among the balladeers, the entertainers, and the touring artists and what have you.
When you're writing a song, when you're creating music, what sorts of things are you pulling at?
I don't know. You want a catchy chorus and you want it 2 minutes and 45 seconds so you can play it as a single. I don't know. Like I said, I like a line or two that's a hook line or a repetitive line that comes back and hits you again and again, and that maybe resonates in a certain sort of way. And different songwriters have different ways they approach that, and different songs appeal to different audiences. But trying to tell a story that somebody doesn't know, but they know the feelings in the story.
Does being a Missouri musician mean something to you?
Well, it's all I've ever been. I haven't been a Texas musician. I haven't been a Kentucky musician, so I don't have a lot to compare to. I know that in Boone County, this has always been a very creative and songwriter-friendly area. We joke about, on a Saturday night, a lot of places you can throw a bottle and you'll probably hit another songwriter. I'm pleased to be in a place that has that density of musical creativity, rather than being, somewhere that's kind of a creative island. You got AM radio and not much of that.
What's it like to have that community around you, people that understand you in this community?
It's wonderful. It's sometimes we almost laugh about it. It's instead of Alcoholics Anonymous, you have Musicians Anonymous, and there are people who have the same affliction, and we support each other in different ways. And sometimes it's just a wink and a nod, a pat on the back. Yeah, I know too. But it's a good community feel that way.
Awesome. Dennis, thanks so much.
Thank you, Noah. Appreciate it. Now when she was single, my Linda Lou was often known to stray. But now we are married, and soon we'll have a family on the way. I'd worked my Friday overtime and headed south on State Route 21. 2 days to finish up that new addition I was building on our home. I'm finally on the right track, a respectable carpenter's life. Been making plans for the future, and I'm proud of my newlywed wife. Then I recognized some voices. It was her and the John Deere dealer's son. I saw some clothes draped on the sawhorse, and I knew exactly what they had done. Then I grabbed him by his scraggly beard and emptied out my nail gun in his chest. with passionate precision. His tools and wood are what I do best. Linda's barely breathing now. She's underneath that brand new plywood floor. You know, I hope she got the message. This carpenter don't love her anymore. It was all a blur of color when I caught her with her lover, and my moonstream stars came hanging down. Crimson blood, white pine, denim blue, dirty blonde, and Carhartt brown. Crimson blood, white pine, denim blue, dirty blonde, and Carhartt brown. I can barely hear her breathing underneath that brand new plywood floor. You know, I hope you got the message, girl. This carpenter don't love you anymore. Yes, I hope you got the message, girl. This carpenter don't love you anymore.